Similar middle sector time to Meraki, who currently holds 4th position, but much cleaner run from the reigning champ through turn number 12. Could this be the fastest time of the session?
Yep, as we head towards the timing beam, the Red Bull driver goes over the line and he only goes into 6th position, so not super fast up the back straight. I think he was looking really good through the middle sector, so I don't know if there was a little mistake we didn't spot out of Jung Sao or just not having the straight line speed of some of the other cars, but pulling up the hill, that car seems to be a little bit off. It would still only be a 2/10 or so away, so that poor qualifying form just continues again for him.
Formula Kareem to the top, the F2 star now leading in the F1 Creator Series, and it's by a quarter of a second. That came out of absolutely nowhere. 107.1, that is the gauntlet firmly laid down to the established runners. Tiamat Malik is half a second up on El Rey Guri's time through the first couple of sectors, but was a little bit wide through Jung Xiao. Formula Kareem coming out of absolutely nowhere to nab provisional pole position. That is going to catch a few drivers very much unawares, but what can the championship leader do, keeping it all the way over to the left-hand side? Can he usurp the Haas? No, still over a 1/10 of a second down. Yeah, and it's just been bumped outside of the top 10 as Dark Viper slots into that final spot inside the top half of the field, just under half a second down on Formula Kareem's time. El Rey Guri found just over half a 10th in the first sector, but look at that RB behind of Safso, shadowing every move of the reigning champion. Are we going to see an improvement again in the middle sector from El Rey? Yes, by oh no, that's Bushiant, sorry. Improving by a 1/10 and a half to go into 5th position in the Alpine. El Rey Guri up by 4/10, so that's the improvement he needs. Needs to find a little bit more on this final sector though. Might get a slipstream from his teammate. The checkered flag is out. What is the reigning champion going to do? Up to the line we go. It is 7th as Safso jumps up into 5th, very close at the sharp end.
Yeah, a little bit of improvement, but not big enough for him. Tiamat Malik out there at the moment. He has got a double toe from cars ahead, and he takes pole position provisionally for now. Who is out there that could challenge him? Bushiant, how is he doing? Looking slow for the first sector. There's also a Mercedes out there going slowly on track, so they won't be challenging. And yeah, Tiamat Malik looking in a very, very good position at the moment.
No improvement for Formula Kareem, so Tiamat Malik by a 1/3 of a second is currently holding pole position. Meraki's done. He's bailed on his lap. Who else is there? I think that is going to be pole position from the wonder from down under. It's only Ricky 03 in the Alpine who is slow at the moment. And Tiamat Malik with a fantastic lap. The only driver anywhere near make it in the 1 minute 6s. That is outstanding pace from the championship leader. It's the usual suspects at the back of the grid. Hayden Gullis on pole with the Haas of Dragonflies alongside. And we are underway for 71 laps in Brazil, charging down towards turn 1 in the center S is Hayden Gullis with an absolutely brilliant start. It's Europe Van Geffen on the move down into the center S, trying to make mincemeat of Duncan, who's on the intermediate tyres, I believe, in that Papaya McLaren car. Europe wasn't satisfied getting up into 31. It's second at the expense of Dragonflies. Look at the split of tyres. We've got cars off all over the show. Nagara losing places. GB backwards going through the center S as well. We've got a Kick Sauber on the move, trying to challenge the Red Bull of Europe Van Geffen down into turn number 4. Can Matty do it? No, bit of a slide on the exit. Infratic and Duncan getting stuck into each other behind as well as they appear through the gloom. A lot of drivers going off the circuit. Squeaky bum time for Dragonflies going down the Retroposta, clatters into the RB as they come through Descida de Largo. Matty D, a very willing spectator, and he's going to try and look up the inside, but that is curtailed because we've got a virtual safety car.
Yes, what is that virtual safety car for? I'm not sure. Probably a little bit of wing damage somewhere, but that will just slow down the pack considerably. Emphatic right on the back of them because of that accordion effect that's in play, but GB68 really just quite far off the back here. There's some position changing between Safso and Devon Butler. Shouldn't really happen, but it may happen a little bit under safety car, let's face it. But Hayden Gullis, and I think Dragonfly especially, a bit lucky with the timing out of VSC because there could have been a switch of position. Yeah, and I think what he's done now, he's backed up the grid considerably as we've gone green now. He's just tried to give himself that delta, that space to breathe, but Dragonflies around the outside, now up the inside of the Curva del Sol as they go on to the Retroposta. Dragonflies takes the lead, but Hayden Gullis is going to fight back. He's going to duck back in to the slipstream, onto the grass, taking out the polystyrene sponsor boards, and Hayden Gullis loses another position. Keep in the mix here, and he could be in a very, very good position because it isn't until we go down to El Rey Guri that someone else is on the inters, as we do see Matty D13 go around the outside. It was a simple move into the braking zone, more pace up the long back straight there and onto the start-finish straight indeed, as Matty D13 takes the lead of this race for the first time.
Oh, they're starting to come for a little bit of a lazy lunge up the inside of Van Geffen, who didn't see it coming. Big contact as the Red Bull goes off into the grass and loses a whole host of places. Dark Viper trying to retaliate and get a position back from Alex Gillen. This is Tiamat Marduk around the outside of Jung Xiao. You don't see an overtaking maneuver there very often. Both with a wobble on the exit. Now it's a drag race through the kinks up to the line, but it is the Papaya McLaren that emerges from the gloom in front. Tiamat Marduk is back onto the podium after just 5 laps.
Yeah, still fighting with Hayden Gullis. He doesn't take things sitting down. And into the center S's, he'll have to have the outside line. He'll try to hang it out there and get up to the inside. But Tiamat Marduk, smarter on the brakes there, just controlled his car better at the apex. And now he has a slingshot. And it feels like a slingshot out of the Curva del Sol, down the Retro Aposta. And he could be getting into second position here. A couple of overtakes within a couple of corners. And now it's just him and Matty D13 who separates them from leading.
The Red Bull of El Rey Guri now trying to mount an assault on Hayden Gullis, the pole sitter, but can't quite force his way round the outside of turn number 9. We'll have to wait a little bit longer. Has he got the traction coming up to Pico de Pato? Will we see a lunge to the inside? Hayden Gullis defends. El Rey Guri made to go the long way around. Will he get the space on the exit? We'll have to use the curb, which is going to be very slippery, but it's textbook stuff from the reigning champion. Now side by side down through Magulio, and it is 4th place.
Yeah, lovely, lovely stuff. Just outfought him on the apexes there and got the job done. So lovely stuff. He's got 3 temps up to Dragonflies to get into those podium positions, and fundamentally he's the lead car on these intermediate tyres as he jumps up into 3rd position. You can start to see, I think, these intermediates are performing better because look at the gap between him and Tiamat Marduk. He's right on the back of him, and I think El Rey Guri could be in the lead of this race within a matter of a lap.
And crucially, Alex Gillen on the Inters passes Formula Kareem on the wet compound tyres. Tiamat Marduk all over the back of Matty D13. He's on the move. He's in the groove. He's having a look up the inside of turn number 4. Very late on the brakes. Can he get the car stopped? Slams the anchors on Matty D13. Going to try and retaliate on the exit and get the lead back. But Tiamat Marduk has the traction. Tiamat Marduk has the confidence. And Tiamat Marduk has the lead of the race.
Before the final proper corner of Jung Sao, and it's about flat out for about 18 seconds here on these wet conditions as we go through here. If you can keep it flat out, he certainly won't be flat out going too wide through here. And now no DRS, of course, because of these wet conditions. He does get into second position, and now it's only him and Tiamat Marduk that separates him from the lead of the race. And I think these intermediate tyres are just coming into their own.
When do you think these drivers on the wets will bite the bullet? Because they're clearly slower at the moment. Tiamat Marduk had the high ground early on, but he's going to have to relinquish the lead of the race to the reigning champion, El Rey Guri, down the inside into the centre. Tiamat Marduk absolutely defenceless, tries all he might to swing it around the outside to try and mount an assault to get that position back, but he cannot do anything about it, and now has to turn his attention to his old mate standing in his rearview mirrors. It is Tiamat Marduk versus Alex Gillen.
Absolutely, the old Cop Championship partners and the original, you could say, are at battle, but this is it's a one-sided battle. So totally with the Sauber colour-coded intermediates on Alex Gillen's car, just sailing him through. Tiamat Marduk, he may think about it at the end of this lap, but this is one of these positions where you've just got to go hang for a safety car now. A safety car would come out and absolutely save Tiamat Marduk's blushes.
Formula Cream is absolutely rapid in the middle sector. El Rey Guri and Alex Gillen do file off into the pits, along with everybody behind. Razin Chai having to stay out, though, because his teammate Infratic was directly in front of him. Medium compound tyres for the race lead of El Rey Guri. Will Alex Gillen follow suit and put the same compound on? Yes, it is the banana tyres for Alex Gillen. El Rey Guri will hold the lead of the race, but where is Formula Kareem going to be? Has a 10-second penalty looming over his head, but has been very quick on this lap.
Yeah, super quick, and he's going to go through here and set the fastest time. He does a 14.5, but it isn't anywhere near the front runners here of El Rey Guri and Alex Gillen, of course, net leaders, as Alex Gillen thinking about the overtake straight away here on those medium tyres. He did, though, so now he's the net leader. Razin Shai and Duncan yet to pit off of their intermediate tyres because, of course, they would have been held up if they did so. But I think the person that really benefited the most was Tiamat Marduk, because he was in a bit of a tricky position with those wet tyres, and it means that he kind of maintains that third net lead, and he can now just focus up and try and close down to the leading duo. From the likes of Tess Nagera, who were up front, as we see Jan Van Geffen, he's thrown it into the wall, and he's caused the first safety car of the day. Hats off to you, Jorrit. He realised his day was cooked, and he's thrown it into the barrier, and he's going to bring this race right back into the mix.
100%, yeah, Alex Gillen and El Guri. El Guri is going to be cursing his teammate there because they were very comfortable out in front. They are going to transfer, into the box. The leading duo, Safso, rejoining the session. Ideal time for him. All locked up for El Guri, nearly slamming into the back of his main rival. What tyres are we going to see put on the Kick Sauber and the Red Bull? Will it be medium tyres again, or will they have a little dabble with the soft compact tyres? I can't quite see that. They look red though. So El Guri, yes, is on the soft, but he's getting held up. An absolute treat there.
I don't think this is real. I don't think this is a real hold. Look how quickly some of these pit crews are going.
He's going backwards. What's going on there? Nogueira gets a penalty for a collision with GB, but he was going backwards down the pit lane. I can't believe he's managed to pull that one off. Alex Gillen leads the race. Safso staying out is going to assume a couple of places. Tiamat Marduk in third. Safso might be in between GB and Tiamat Marduk. There is the RB car. Is he going to be directly in between? I think he's just behind the Aston Martin. Let's get down to business, everybody. An absolute car park as people having to slam the anchors on as the safety cars brought in incredibly late. And Tiamat Marduk actually nipping at the heels of El Guri. Alex Gillen with the jump on the restart. The reigning champion left a little bit wanting coming over the line to start lap number 32. Will Tiamat Marduk send it up the inside? Little bit of movement on the braking from El Guri, and that just chops across the front wing of Tiamat Marduk, who has to back off on that one and retain third position. GB68 now potentially sniffing an opportunity to get up into third place, fancying his chances down the Retrobus, but doesn't have the straight line speed to challenge the Papaya McLaren.
And it meant that people weren't kind of in that zone to restart, and Alex didn't just be able to absolutely get away with no DRS behind, with no slipstreaming behind. He'll be able to break the toe as Tiamat Marduk makes easy work of El Guri, but he'll just try to use what was used against him for the first part of this race, that DRS, to close down that gap. I think he's looking super, super good in this race. I think he's got pace that hasn't been fully shown yet. But he's just choosing to back down. Now maybe he'll think about a move on El Guri, but just as Tiamat Marduk takes it free wide into turn one, can GB68 jump up into second? He's still up the inside of El Guri. I said he was being smart and patient, but he went a little bit deep into that one and maybe cost El Guri just a little bit of time on the run out of the onto the Retro Poster, and the gap is 2.3 seconds, but GB68 finally gone for a move. Tiamat Marduk wants that position back. Again, they're going for another move, and GB68 is going to have to back out of it because Tiamat Marduk didn't manage to make the move on El Guri. El Guri is kind of blocking him as well. Interesting stuff from these three. But this is it. As soon as they start to fight, they're going to lose time to Alex Gillen. They'd brought that gap down to about 2.2 seconds at one point. Now it's up to 2.6 seconds. So this battling isn't helping them, and it's elongating the amount of time it will take to catch Alex Gillen as GB68 does make a simple move down the straight. DRS open. He's into his highest position of second in this race so far. And yeah, they do get that gap down a little bit, but they've just got to work together. That battling isn't going to help them in the long term.
He's absolutely rapid in the middle sector. They took another half a second out of Alex Gillen on the previous lap through that sequence of corners. 1.1 the gap now, but Alex Gillen, Tiamat Marduk and El Guri fancying their chances down the hill. GB gets swarmed by the pair of them. Both run off the circuit. I think El Guri is going to take the place. Tiamat Marduk has come a cropper there because he's lost a whole host of time. Didn't quite see what happened.
Yeah, I think they both just tried to take the racing line after swallowing GB68 whole, and Tiamat Marduk's been slapped off the track, and yeah, he's gone.
Head loss.
He is absolutely
gone.
Front wing
damage, yeah, absolutely head loss there for Ben. Unfortunately, clattering into the side of Test Will. Is he going to go up the inside again into Bika de Bato? No, it's not on the championship lead. Just showing a few cracks there, getting caught up with El Guri, as we've seen before. Maybe frustrated with the tactics GB was putting on the table there, as he wanted to lead the train. Tiamat Marduk wasn't satisfied being in fourth place, tried to get past the pair of them down into Desiga de Largo, and then just a little bit of head loss. Will he jump into the pits? I'd be surprised if he doesn't, because that is significant damage, as Formula Kareem jumping back behind Bushiance there with a bit of lag. Yeah, Alex Gillen's got to be careful of the green machine. That Aston Martin absolutely flying. Tiamat Marduk getting past Razin Chai, but that gap 1.5 seconds as the Ferrari soft compound tyres start to scream for mercy. This is going to be the change in hand for the lead. GB68 was last on lap number 5. He now leads the race. El Guri files through as well. Alex Gillen has to admit defeat and falls from first down into third. Exactly as we said he was going to do something differently. He decides to come into the pits for what I can only assume are the red stripe soft compound tyres and a front wing change as well. You can see the new front wing going on that Papaya McLaren car. That's going to lose him 5, 6, maybe even 7 seconds in the box. It's going to have to be a sterling drive for the championship leader to try and maintain his streak of first and second place finishes so far this season. going into the middle sector. Alex Gillen, though, peels off into the pits. The race
Oh.
leader, stay out! That is crucial. That is criminal from Alex Gillen. A very un-Gillen-like mistake, and it's a 10-second penalty.
Just throwing it away, right? I thought, right, he's lost a little bit of time here. He's a second away. He's not got the DRS. Surely this is a lap to pit. It is. He just throws it away. That is the most wasteful thing I think I've ever seen Alex Gillen do in the Creator Series. Just throwing away a very, very good position here, because I think he would have come out in front of Vaz, and it's certainly going to be close with the Ferrari driver as they head out of the Curva del Sol. He would have had third position. He would have had those soft tyres. He's gone soft again. He would have been in superb position, but any chance of winning here is now well and truly gone. But GB68 curses, look, he's left the session.
For 5th and 6th position. I wonder if those 18-lap-old soft tyres starting to struggle on the Papaya McLaren car. This is going to be very easy. Indeed, Alex Gillen, through goes the Kick Sauber, the Season 2 champ, passes the Green Machine in the Aston Martin, and now is up into 2nd place on the road. Tim Marduk, from losing 5th position to Formula Cream, now getting 4th position from Razin Chai, by the way, down into Tessida del Lago. And Tiamat Marduk coming out of Zhengzhou. Look at that gap. It's half a second. If Alex Gillen didn't have a penalty, he'd be lapping this up for a potential first win of the season. But it's the reigning champion who's going to come around Zhengzhou safely, a second clear of GB, who is going to get some DRS helping up towards the start-finish line. But it is going to be the reigning champion. He might relinquish the lead on the road, but I tell you what, champions bounce back. It has not been the season El Rey wanted as the reigning champ, but he's going to come across the line to win for the first time as a champion. GB comes home in second once again. Where is Alex Gillen going to end up? I think he's going to drop a couple of places. Tiamat Marduk getting past Razin Chai in the final sector, which means the McLaren does take a trip to the podium, with Razin Chai 4th and Alex Gillen missing out on that podium by 0.7 of a second. Then coming Formula Cream, Bushiant's test will. Infratic is going to pick up a decent haul of points, and Meraki, who has been in the wars this race, is going to come home just nestled inside the top 10.